Hello, Collective, and welcome to Tarot Parlor. Today we have another psychic sketch or psychic drawing that I had received today. And this was a pretty intense visual, okay? We're going to jump right into it. So there was numerous amounts of people in this vision. Multiples. Like if you times this by 10, that's maybe how many that I actually saw. Many different characters, and they were all dressed kind of like anywhere from the medieval period, okay, all the way through the Victorian period of clothing. So I would say the Renaissance fair, so Renaissance festival type people, but also including some Victorian style clothing. And that was all mixed in here in this vision. And every single person had some sort of trophy that was in their hand. And it wasn't a trophy like an award, possibly. They were awarded something financially. It was a financial trophy. Or a bag of gold, so to speak. Okay, so this is the center of focus in everybody's hand. Everybody had a bag of gold. Everybody. And this guy right here was the one giving the payouts. Okay, so let's talk about him first because he is who I seen first. And he has this shorter top hat. And it's girthy, as you can see. And he's wearing it very low over the face. And this side of his face is also shaded. And in his hand, instead of a bag of gold, he has the nugget of gold. And it's shining. Okay, let me bring that closer. He actually has the nugget of gold in his hand. And he's dressed very pristine, like a banker, with, again, an oversized top hat, which means that he is oversized in position. Okay, his job position is oversized for him, or in his arrogance, one or the other, okay? Or in the action that he was performing. This was something that was above and beyond what he was supposed to be doing. And that means he could have been breaking the rules and giving all of these payouts. Do you get that? Okay. And like I said, it was a bit shady. His profile was a bit hidden and shady. And you couldn't see some of his face. Even some of his face was being hidden by his top hat. So he was definitely hiding behind his position in life. He had very long tails on his coat. And everything was very pristine. Okay? So there was nothing to make it look like he didn't fit the part of officially doing what he was doing. Except for the fact that it's very unusual for an entire... These two people were on a train. Everybody else seemed to be in this town. Okay? So it was kind of like... could have been a Renaissance festival. And this could have been people taking you to a train that goes through the festival. Something like that. They were all linked together in this town. And he had paid out all of these people that were... again, these people were the ones that didn't get their hands dirty. These were the people that had position. Okay, that maybe had rosters, you know, of people's names, that owned the homes, that owned things, that definitely weren't the ones that ran around and acted like a fool. They were honorary when they showed up to some extent, or at least... they had more stability within the fair than the people that usually run around and act a fool and put on the show. These people didn't put on the show. These were the fancy dressed people that showed up and had position, some sort of importance, okay? And these people, what I heard, are the ones that shield others. Now, I don't know if that means they give them alibis in court. I don't know if it means they give them a plate of food. I don't know what kind of shield these important people, status people were. But they were the shields the important status people that were shields for others. And the shields were getting the payouts today. Right now, this month, right now, they're getting the payouts. And this guy was getting it in a French bread loaf. So he was getting his gold in a big French bread loaf. So everybody was getting their own style of payout. The only one who didn't get a payout was this guy over here in the corner, and this was the hermit. And he's the one that put a light to the whole thing that was going on, where you could see and expose what was in everybody's hand. He exposed the payout. Do you see? You couldn't even notice the payout if he hadn't have shown up with his lantern of truth. And because he did, we could all of a sudden see that this guy had just a huge nugget of gold, and he was giving out gold bags that were payouts to the shields and the important people in the Renaissance Festival. And I don't mean important like important that the festival couldn't go on without them, but these people were had roles. There we go. Important roles of status. Roles of status. So they were getting paid. They could have just been getting paid for their roles of status, but I've heard that they were getting paid for the shielding. Okay. This guy over here is like the mortician guy. This is his little lamb. And he's the one who does sacrifices, okay, like lambs and other animals for the prosperity, for shielding. Oh my gosh, he's the one who does the sacrifices to shield everyone in the Ren Festival. This Ren Festival. I don't know if this is European. I don't know if this is American. I don't know if it's Spanish. And I don't know if it's French. There is a French loaf right here. But I don't know. Okay, it's some Ren Festival. And this is the guy who does the sacrifices, that does the shielding. And these are the people that work with him. Okay, and they all have positions of status. Status roles. Very important. And this guy is the banker that is oversuited for his attire, his dress, his position. And maybe he's just that knowledgeable. Okay, or it could be his arrogance. Okay, so it's either his skill or his arrogance that he's oversuited with. And he's the one who does the payout to everyone. And this is the guy who does the sacrifice to help keep everybody, keep their names clean, to keep them going, and so on. You know, like whatever they need that for. And this guy up here in the corner is the hermit that brought the message. Okay? So we'll get into this, and I'll put some other meanings in the comments below, not the comments, in the description below, as far as like what a bag of gold could mean, what the Ren Festival people dressed like could be, a train conductor. See, this was a conductor of a train. Okay, so there's some sort of a conductor of a train. There is some sort of continual action or shenanigans, okay, a train of shenanigans or functionality that this festival conducts. And this guy's the main conductor. This woman is a very important part of his getting that accomplished. Somehow this guy is connected to them. This guy is also extremely important. His plume was very important. So this might be somebody that collects people's signatures, right? He's got the plume. He could be the accountant even. So everybody had very important roles within this Ren Festival. And here's the payout guy. Here's the one that says that there's something shady going on. The gold is real. Okay? There's nothing shady about this gold. But everybody's getting a large, their bag of peanuts right now. You get what I mean? And it's real gold. Okay, That's important for somebody to know that this is going on right now. In addition to that, let's see what other cards I pulled. I can show you what's going on. So I pulled this card. The girl on this card is really significant. She is she's the one running the train in her. She's using the train, okay? The train that's running, the Ren Fair train that's running, she's using it. And these are her assistants or her business partners. Excuse me. She's trying to run things old school. Excuse me. But here's the problem with that. She has outdated thinking, and this might not be her thinking. This might be thinking of somebody that handed this business down to her. And conditioning, outdated conditioning. Excuse me. She's replaying events and over and over again in her head. See that? She's replaying these events. So she's a little bit lost from reality because she's still stuck evening scores or worried about the past. And it's affecting the success of this train, or where this train can go. This train can only go so many routes. It only goes, that's why it's like, it only goes where it's going to go. It goes the same tour over and over again because she's stuck in old school thinking. It does an old school tour. There is a death card about this, and that means that there is some relationship, okay, that she has counted on or that she was waiting for that is really over. She's not seeing it because she's still stuck thinking that her old ways are going to revive this, but it's not. There are no second chances with this one. She doesn't believe that, though. It will be an opportunity for growth and transformation. She's going to have to accept that what is dead to some extent. You know, she's going to have to realize what is not going to revive for her. This is the personality trait that she, the foundation that she bases a lot of her her relationships on. And that is blowing a kiss. Okay, so she's promising you this kiss, sealing it with a kiss, blowing you a kiss, whatever. And it makes it look like she's being sincere with unconditional love. That there's a giving and receiving. That there's a fairness and love combination. And that there's affection returned. But she's just blowing you a kiss. It's not any of this. And how do I know? Because right after I got this card that said love, do you see this is real? And this is unconditional love. This is self-love and wholeness. It's what she's missing in her business, okay? And with others. So affection and attraction and selflessness is not something that is her forte. She's used to doing this because giving this level of affection makes people think she's being sincere, so she blows them the kiss, right? But she doesn't have it. It's not really there. Okay, so it's fake. It's not that it's fake, it's just that it doesn't have the substance. The ingredients aren't there. You know, like a psychopath. A psychopath doesn't have what a psychopath doesn't have. Okay, blowing this kiss doesn't have what people are really looking for. So in the end, when she's taking her spoils for herself and they get left out in the cold, this is why. Mother of Cups also came out, and this is another explanation of what's going on between these two cards right here. Okay, the blowing a kiss, the insincerity, and then the sincerity. The difference is this. She's not looking to fill an emotional cup. Okay? She's looking to fulfill a financial cup. So really, she's looking for coins in her cup. And not really any other kind of sincerity that a lot of people look for when they look for something that is more the sincerity. Okay, it's just not there. People can't do what they can't do. Again, this is an old school method that she can't stop doing. Even if she veers from it for a little while and learns how to fake this, it's still going to all go right back to this eventually. And you'll be sorry for making her do something she didn't want to do. That's really important to understand. Okay, one more card in this. Collections. She's got collections, and that's why she's doing this. She's not doing this business, okay, venture for the sincerity, the friendships, the reunions. She's not doing it for that. That's why it's just blowing you a kiss, because she's doing it for the collections that she's got going on. Okay? So, just to let you know, be blessed.